We're back in this room and we're standing! You know it's gonna get intense when I'm standing. The fact that I've made almost 0 book review videos on this channel recently does not mean that I haven't been reading. I've read 9 books since school got out, woo! And I'm going to talk about one of those with you today. Bill Bryson's The Mother Tongue is definitely my favorite book I've read so far this summer. I don't know if I can recommend it because it's kind of niche, but I'm obsessed with English. It's my major. I love etymology and words and language. So combining that with Bill Bryson, who's one of my favorite authors, was just like such an amazing read for me. I don't know how enjoyable this book would be to people who aren't already interested in English. I'm sort of biased that way. So I don't want to make this glowing review and kind of force people to read this when I know that other people might not find it as interesting. So instead, I thought I would share with you some of my favorite information from this book that I find really interesting. And if you agree with me, then you will definitely really love this book. And if you don't agree with me, I hope you're not too mad at me for wasting 4 minutes of your day. 10 things I learned from Bill Bryson's The Mother Tongue. Number 1. So the word colonel in English is definitely really weird, and I've heard a lot of people say things like, whoever thought of the spelling of colonel is a total idiot, which would be true, but if there's one thing I learned from this book is that every word has a huge history behind it, and it's almost never just a person thinking up, oh, this is a word, I want it to mean this is how you pronounce it, and this is how you spell it. For example, the English word colonel comes from both the Italian and the French, the Italian version of the word being colonnello, and the French one being coronel. Somewhere along the line, English got stuck with the French writing and the Italian pronunciation, both of them shortened it just to make it easier. Number 2. So at one point for the English language, a bit before Shakespeare, the way to make nouns plural was to add en at the end instead of the s that we use today. The only 3 words that we use today that are sole remnants of that are oxen, brethren, and children. Number 3. During a push for reformed spelling, Noah Webster was so passionate about the cause that he lobbied Congress to make it a legal requirement. If he had had his way, then deviant spelling would be an offense punishable by law. Number 4. Some spellings in English that don't make sense, such as the B's in debt and doubt, were put in during the 17th century after the words already existed, during an English passion for the classical languages. Previously spelled debt and doubt, those letters were added to make the English words conform more to the Latin ideal, since those words come from the Latin words debitum and dubitare, respectively. Number 5. Estimates of English words that are used in Japanese can be as high as 20,000. Here are some examples I find amusing. Elevator, necktie, butter, cheese, and ham. Number 6. The first sentence in the English language, if you want to be dramatic about it. The oldest Anglo-Saxon writing we have is from a medallion that dates back to about 460 CE. On it, it says, well, we think it says, "This she-wolf is a reward to my kinsman." Not a thrilling sentence, I know, but it's history. Number 7. British names and their corresponding pronunciations are ridiculous and I love them immensely. I am almost definitely not pronouncing these the way that they're supposed to be, but I'm just reading off how he says they're pronounced in the book, so don't blame me, please. All you British people make fun of me, go ahead. Down here's how they're written, and I'm going to be attempting their pronunciations. Marchbanks, Lucengore, Yule, and Hoik, and this is just strange. This surname apparently has 5 different pronunciations, and they are Featherstonhaugh, Fearstonshaw, Festinhaugh, Fiesenhay, and Fanshawe. Number 8. The word fart is one of the few English words that has been preserved perfectly since the Anglo-Saxon language of 900 CE. Number 9. The word asparagus was originally called sparrowgrass for 200 years until people kept mishearing it and eventually it just changed over to asparagus. Number 10! During the 1800s, America went through this period of extreme prudishness in its language, to the extent that when talking about a chicken for dinner, words like breast and thigh and leg were not to be said at all, and that's where the words white meat and drumstick come from. Also during this period, words like buck and stallion to refer to male animals couldn't be used at all. Instead, they said things like gentleman cow, No joke. So there you have it. Those are 10 facts that I learned from Bill Bryson's The Mother Tongue. If you're interested in this kind of thing, it's definitely an amazing read. It's hilarious, and it's a quick read, and it's in-depth, but it gives you a whole spectrum of the entire history of the English language. So I definitely recommend it if you're into it. If you're not, that's fine. I will be talking about a different book in my next video. Until then, see ya.